This was a heinous attack in one of the most lively areas for tourists in the United States. Behind me is the iconic Bourbon Street, and that is where this suspect drove several blocks, plowing into dozens of people at a time. You can see the coroner's van still there. FBI investigators are on the scene, and they brought in ththose floodlights because they expect that they are going to continue to be here investigating overnight. And especially concerning is the fact that there's still tens of thousands of people around the French Quarter for New Year's and for the Sugar Bowl, and the fact there's potentially co-conspirators in this attack who are on the run.
This new year starting in tragedy. At least 15 dead and dozens injured after police say a man intentionally plowed his car into a crowd in the busy French Quarter of New Orleans on Bourbon Street.
We heard a pop, 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 pop sound, followed by a sound that sounded like fireworks going off.
He was hell-bent on creating the carnage and the damage that he did.
For those people who don't believe in objective evil, all you have to do is look at what happened in our city early this morning.
Around 3:15 a.m. on New Year's morning, law enforcement sources say a three-pronged planned attack began. Officials say the suspect, driving a rented Ford F150 truck, law enforcement tracking this surveillance video, appearing to show the pickup coming down Canal Street before veering right into pedestrians on Bourbon Street, moving around a police vehicle meant to block oncoming vehicles.
We have dozens of people that got hit by this car.
The video you're about to see is disturbing, showing the truck rushing down the street, hitting at least one person.
You just heard this squeal and like the rev of an engine and then this huge loud impact and then the people screaming.
Authorities identifying the suspect as 42-year-old Shamsud-Din Jabbar, a U.S.-born citizen, military veteran, and resident of Texas. Authorities say he was speeding down Bourbon and allegedly firing an assault-style rifle out of the truck, racing about 3 blocks before crashing, stepping out and opening fire again, wounding 2 police officers. Authorities then returning fire. Suspect dead at the scene, this image showing his body lying next to that truck. This video, shot from a Bourbon Street balcony, shows bodies in the middle of the street.
These are all somebody's people that aren't going to be there.
Jimmy Cothran was his group's designated driver.
We ran upstairs, and when we got on the balcony, what we saw was insanity. I mean, something out of a movie. The graphic nature of it, and it was unbelievable. We instantly counted, I'd say, 10 bodies, 6 clearly graphically deceased.
In this EarthCam video, nearly a dozen officers seen on Bourbon Street not far from the attack, racing toward the danger. The attack coming as every law enforcement officer in the city was on duty. Thousands of New Year's revelers and football fans in town for the Sugar Bowl packing the French Quarter. The Sugar Bowl now postponed until Thursday. Authorities looking at how the suspect was able to get down Bourbon Street, which is usually blocked off with security barriers, bollards like these, but they were reportedly in the process of being replaced.
We had barriers there, we had officers there, and they still got around. So we did indeed have a plan, but the terrorist defeated it.
Basically, the bad guy this morning drove up and around the police car and up on the sidewalk. You need a device there, like NYPD in New York, have basically concrete barriers they place at the edge of a sidewalk. If you would hit it, you probably wouldn't be able to get through it with a car.
Authorities say the man seen in this YouTube video talking about real estate
Good evening. I'm Shamsud-Din Jabbar.
Is believed to be the suspect, and the FBI, now leading the investigation, believes he was not acting alone.
The FBI, we are working with our partners to investigate this as an act of terrorism. We do not believe that Jabbar was solely responsible. We are aggressively running down every lead, including those of his known associates. That's why we need the public's help. We are asking if anybody has any interactions with Shamsud-Din Jabbar in the last 72 hours, that you contact us.
Inside that Ford F-150, authorities say they found multiple homemade pipe bombs packed with nails. Sources tell ABC News on that flagpole, wrapped in that gray jacket, is a black flag bearing the ISIS insignia. Police sources tell ABC the suspect allegedly rented the truck through a car share rental app called Turo in Texas. At least 2 improvised explosive devices were also found on the scene, according to authorities, with police spending much of the day scouring downtown New Orleans, detonating multiple possible IEDs in multiple locations.
The biggest issues that the police and the FBI have right now is identifying these other individuals that potentially placed IED devices in or around the streets where the incident occurred. That's one aspect. The other is they really have to do a very thorough background on the suspect to make sure that there is not some other terrorist event planned. And did he get self-radicalized online, or did somebody actually recruit him, send him overseas to be trained? Or was he part of some group?
The night President Biden addressing the nation.
To all the families of those who were killed, to all those who are injured, to all the people of New Orleans who are grieving today, I want you to know, I grieve with you. Our nation grieves with you.
And the stories of the innocent victims are coming into focus. 18-year-old Nakaira Dido from Gulfport, Mississippi. She was set to start nursing school this month. 37-year-old Reggie Hunter, who came to New Orleans from Baton Rouge with his cousin on a whim.
And just living your life, trying to have fun, and for this to happen to you is senseless.
27-year-old Nicole Perez. Her employer says she was a great mom.
Her little boy looked up to her.
The city of New Orleans and the country beginning 2025 now in mourning.